What's going on, guys? My name is Bobby, or Bob Godsey, and this is Uncharted 3, the multiplayer beta. What's going on, guys? I know it's been a while, and I wasn't too sure if I was going to upload until Modern Warfare 3, but again, I do remember saying that I might just upload some of this, Uncharted 3, the beta multiplayer, and I decided to do so, because I think it's a pretty awesome game that I think many of you will definitely like. So this beta is available to me just because I purchased Infamous 2, and yeah, if you got Infamous 2, you received this multiplayer beta early access voucher, and you can go ahead and plug that into the PS3 redeem code section of your account. And this game, unfortunately, is only available for us PS3 players. So if there's one reason to buy PS3, and there's many, but this would be one hell of a reason, because not only Uncharted 3, the multiplayer, but when the game comes fully out, the game itself, the single player and multiplayer, it's definitely one of the most anticipated games coming out, and of course Uncharted 2 was the game of the year, so yeah, you Xbox players, you're missing out here. Anyway, for those who didn't buy Infamous 2 and have that voucher, you can go ahead and in a few days, I think sometime in early July, I want to say, I'm not sure on the exact date, but it comes out for everyone else completely free, and yeah, you can go ahead and begin playing. So I just want to say right now, this is probably one of the coolest cinematic aspects of a multiplayer experience I've ever played. I think it's the only time I've ever actually been in that type of experience where you're in this like cinematic movie going down this never-ending runway, and you're still playing multiplayer, but everything else is moving around you, and it seems so movie-like. And then you go ahead, cutscene, and go into the actual map. So if there's any way to just make an awesome opening cutscene, that's it, because it plays just like in any other multiplayer map. It's moving, and why not? It works pretty seamlessly, and I think it was awesome that they did that. So the gameplay, you guys can see, and I'm sure many of you who are watching this are my subscribers, which are COD lovers. So I just want to say this is obviously third person, and it's a lot different, I have to say. We FPS players, we're not always too sure on third person games. And I know I wasn't at first. This actually wasn't my first time playing Uncharted multiplayer. I bought Uncharted 2 a few weeks ago, and I got it, just wanted to try and warm up before this came out. And I guess of all the third-person multiplayers I've ever played, this was definitely one of the most easy to handle, very easy to play, and actually really enjoyable. I have really nothing wrong against this beta or Uncharted 2 multiplayer gameplay. So what I'm saying here is, guys, if you're kind of like up in the air about third-person gameplays because you're just so hooked on COD type of games and FPS, this might be your game that you just want to try something else, because it definitely works well. The game controls are just flawless. They definitely hyped it up a little bit. I like what they did. They, you guys might be able to see it, but there's a little white dot in the center of the screen, and that's going to let you guys kind of aim when you're running in a way. So in Uncharted 2, you weren't always too sure where you were aiming when you actually weren't scoping in, and then maybe when you saw somebody, you would have to adjust your crosshairs. Well, now you have the option to always know where it's at, which is a lot easier because it's third person, you're not always too sure, and it's a very nice feature. You can turn that off if you don't like it as well. Another awesome feature about this game, which it's pretty standard, but it's different from other, of course, FPS games, which you can't really do too much of this in, is easy maneuvering. You guys can see I'm doing a lot of barrel rolling. I'm not sure why, I guess I like doing it. It works pretty well, and if there's one difference that I would say between this and, let's say, FPS games, is you won't have firefights where it's one bullet, one kill. There's going to be some pretty awesome long firefights, which I personally like better. I don't know about you guys, but I sometimes get really frustrated just at the COD scene where you're sitting there and you turn a corner, you can't react at all, and you're dead in a second. In this game, you can turn that corner, do a barrel roll, hide behind the barrel, and then just do whatever, finish that guy off. You have an opportunity, which is different. I like that. It's not so easy to get kills, so it's almost more like rewarding in a sense. It's not too easy, which is, I think it's a lot better. But that's just my opinion, and yeah, we'll go with that. So the gameplay itself. So if you didn't have this voucher, I'm going to describe some of the gameplay. The game's available. You have the standard TDM game, standard free-for-all. Then you have a 3-team team deathmatch. So you can pair up with a buddy, and you can go ahead and verse 2 other teams. So 6 people in all. You have hardcore and then co-op. And the guns available in this beta, at least the main guns, you have the AK-47, which is it's reappearing again from the previous Uncharted. You have the Gmol Dragon Sniper and the M9 pistol, which is a primary weapon. Something else different for you Uncharted 2 players. This is a power play. It's pretty cool. It's called Cursed, and it can go 2 ways. It can go really nicely, and it's pretty just fun playing it. Keeps you on your toes. Because what happens is when you get into this power play, you instantly can kill anybody, including your teammates, which is not a good thing sometimes, because it's almost frustrating. What happens is it goes right into this free-for-all, and you have to try and decide who you're going to kill. Now, of course, you don't want to kill your teammates, so you have to put your crosshairs over everybody and make sure you see the name, because when the name pops up, it's going to be green or red. Green, of course, is your teammate. Red is the enemy. The problem I had with this was, I guess it was probably just because the beta just really released that people weren't sure, but my teammates kept killing me, which it really wasn't awesome. I'd get in firefights where I'd be like doing my typical barrel rolling, running around, while my teammates were trying to shoot me. So at some points I just gave up, said fuck it, and I just shot them. And I was like, I'm not dealing with this. Yeah, that's a pretty cool power play. I'm sure that won't last though. You know, people will finally pick up on it. And yeah. So the online experience. Right now the beta just really released, so you have to expect some lag. There's a little bit of freezing problems. There's black screens, and that's all typical stuff you have to expect. Nothing too serious, and yeah, the gameplay itself it's alright. As long as you can find a good party of people to keep playing with, I think that's the secret to the betas. Is sometimes it's just the people you play with, not necessarily the game and the servers. I think it's more or less the people, because I can go with a group of people sometimes, and we can go into 10-game stretches without a problem. Other times, I get into one group, the first game, we're black screen. So, I'm not sure the reason behind that. Maybe it's just connectivity problems or whatever it seems. I think that's the magic solution that, at least I thought would work for me and did work. A few tips I would have for you guys coming into this game. Like I said earlier, the white dot is pretty awesome. I love having that there, so I'm going to keep that option on. Something else is headsets. This is, again, a COD reference, but as long as you're versing enemy players who aren't using the booster perk that allows their footsteps not to be heard, you can hear footsteps as loud as anything. They're clear, light as day, so it's really easy gameplay when you can hear someone coming up behind you, and it's not that difficult to get fast kills that way. So headsets definitely help. It was a big bonus for me in the early few rounds, and those would be the tips, at least for the moment. Getting used to the game is really the hardest thing for you FPS players. Third person in this game and the controls really work well. Naughty Dog did a great job. Like I said, of all third persons, this one is just, it works best. It's flawless. Maneuvering around is really easy. There's sometimes little glitches and bugs where it kind of like stops for a second, freezes, and then if you're trying to jump up something, you'll do it, but you have to wait a second, kind of like glitches upward. Otherwise, it's perfectly easy to do what I'm doing here and get around pretty quickly and use your environment. Aiming is pretty standard. Everything else is pretty standard. You're just looking from a third-person view. I think the hardest part sometimes is just making sure you know where everyone is. And like I said earlier, if you have a headset, you won't have that problem of having to constantly turn around and look behind you, because that's actually where most of my deaths comes from behind. I won't see somebody, I won't hear somebody, and not that you can do that in first person and turn around and know where everyone is. I think it's a little easier in first person shooters just to be aware of where people are behind you, just because in third person, of course you can see behind you for a fair little amount, but in this game, at least in Uncharted 3, even with full sensitivity, you're pretty much turning around at a slower pace, and really it's just that sensitivity issue which I have a somewhat little problem with, is I can't always turn around quick enough. Otherwise, if you get shot from behind, you just use maneuvering, and that usually solves the problem, or at least gives you a little bit more time. So everything else it's pretty simple. You can do a whole range of different attacks, melee options, where you can just headbutt somebody, you can butt them with your gun, you can actually slide kick them to death, and you can assassinate them from behind, chokehold, and just not sure what the actual motion is. It's almost like a choke, but all these different one kill opportunities that you kind of get to do. So if I had to give this beta a score, I would definitely have to say it's about an 8, with a few problems with the connectivity and a little bit of a bug and glitches. The gameplay rides pretty smoothly. The graphics are great, and the sound quality is great, especially with all the in-game lighting that they really worked on. Some of the maps you guys will see later on are very contrasted, where you can not even, like, if you're passing through some of the rooms, they'll be completely dark and you can't see anything inside them until you pass through them. If you guys just saw that hangar in there, it was mostly pretty dark. So with that real-time lighting, it adds that feature with the kind of unknown, and you're not always sure what's going to happen, you're not sure what's in there. And that's something I like about this gameplay. Not with only those power plays, but with different other power plays that come up, where some teams have more killing ability, sometimes you have random planes strafing in. The whole game experience about Uncharted is it keeps you on your toes. It's not a boring third-person gameplay. It's a very hyped up, fast-moving, not very camper-friendly type of game, which is something I appreciate. And it's challenging, but it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed that. A decent game, 14 of 4. I did all right. Had a few good assists there. I wish I could turn some of that into more kills, but anyway, yeah, leave comments, subscribe, and hope you guys rate this video, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.